Hi guys, and welcome to course week 14, 2DV013 cloud native applications. We are almost done with this year part of the course, at least. 3 weeks left. We have Diego here today again. How is it going for you, Diego? And the first
Good.
infrastructure part.
Yeah. This week we have finished grading the retake. So that's last Wednesday. They were a good proportion of assignments graded, but now they are all. So I can announce.
Yeah, so you got then the first batch of students got also their grades in Ladok, right? So that should
Yeah.
also be done, and
This.
many people asked about that.
Mm.
And then we hopefully report to Ladok the completions also this week or
Yeah.
so. Then when is the
Yeah.
next chance to submit then for the last retake? That
I
would be
checked and time edit and it's in June. I think 13.
yeah.
But the date is there. Published on time edit since the beginning.
Yeah, so basically for all the failed assignments sort of this round, you can still have a chance to submit everything in June. But please don't do that because we're not gonna have time to grade it. For me, at least, because there are gonna be 500 other different things to grade. But it is there because we have to have it. I don't know how much you like to grade this infrastructure assignment in June. you get less feedback, at least, right? If you do a late submission.
There will not be, unless there are new submissions, there will not be many. Because now I see that in this round, it has been quite good. So usually in the first one, many people pass. In the retail, maybe the percentage is lower, but this year many have many of the pull requests, the merge requests, work it. So now there are few left.
That is good.
Unless there are people who didn't submit in the first or the second, so new submissions for the last one, I anticipate just very few for
Yeah, there
June
are a
because
few
almost
people
everybody.
who have registered for the course but haven't submitted the first or the second. So not sure what happened there. There's always that. And we had the first deadline for assignment 2 passed. I'm gonna start grading. I don't know, hopefully today or tomorrow. Those. So yeah, hang in there. The next chance for that one we still have in January. So some people I know are still trying to perfect it and whatnot. So not really completed. So try to work sort of alongside the group project, so you don't hang behind on that one. So I think like if you still have assignment 2 hanging over you, it's good to still start on the group project with your group and attend all the workshops that are quite intensive now until Christmas, so you submit your design report and all that. So that's what we did. Yesterday we had a design meeting, designed user personas and requirements for the project, and went through the process of how we go from that to system architecture. So that's today at handledning at 1:15. I will be there both online and on site. So please come and show me your reports. The another chance to do that would be next week, also on Wednesday. And the deadline for the design report is December 15th. And as I said multiple times at the workshops, but if you missed the workshops, I say it again, I want to see it face to face with the group. I want to discuss it with the group and give feedback directly with the group instead of doing it in writing, because There are, I think, 15 groups, and I don't want to write so much. I have other things to write. So please, let's do it on the workshops. If you can't come to a workshop, we can have a huddle on Slack at some other point, but before December 15th. One thing that we haven't discussed so much yet is sort of data management patterns. So I think most of the people still pick to kind of have a shared database between the microservices. So like a more like easier example, similar to how it is in assignment 2, which is completely okay as long as you also scale a database against like replicas. I do encourage you to try different data management patterns, and that we're going to discuss on the next Tuesday as well. Yeah, it's also in the book, but who needs to read that, right? A bit. Actually, you need to read that because we also have an oral exam about all of these concepts. So even if you haven't used the patterns for different data patterns for your project, it will still come up at the exam, which we have in January, and that's the only part of the course that has pass with distinction, so different assessment, and it's individual assessment. Yes. One more thing I want to say about the group project. Now all the groups are formed. Here's Mats. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, we are talking about group project and oral exam and so on. And we just went through infrastructure part with Diego. Yeah, about the group project. Now all the groups are formed. All of you should have gotten access to your CS Cloud resources as well, and to your GitLab. If you still have any problems with that, like there were some issues with these groups that we made for nice Pokemon groups. Like for instance with the group, yeah, still this if you have still like a wrong URL here, it's due to the import that teaching assistants did. So that is fine. You can still access your group wiki here from plan, and you go to group wiki. Here's your wiki. Your project title, some short description here should be your URL to the project, and here you place report 1 in markdown format based on what's written here and what we discussed at the workshop. So we went through pretty detailed how you can achieve user interface design and what I would like to see placed here. And I repeat one more time, like it's the UML diagram or drawing. I don't, please, no hand drawings. So any type of digital drawing that you can maintain. We talked about that this architecture, both the architectural overview and the user interface design and all of your user flows might not be the latest version of this, right? So we talked about working in iterations. So work iteratively on your architectural overview and interface design as well. So then you see in report 2, all of this comes again, but up to date. So that would be the latest version and at the point of completion. And in a post-mortem, then you would write your experience with working iteratively on a complex project like this together. Yeah, but before Mats, you were here, I was saying that it would be really good if we do if you manage to show me part of your report or the whole report in person at the workshops, so we can also discuss and improve, and that I know basically I want to know your project before I see it in submission. That also greatly increases your chances of passing swiftly. Yeah. that's it. We have one question here that's related. Can we come to workshops even if we don't want to show report yet? Yes, to handledninger, of course. So that I mean, like those that are on Wednesdays, you are always welcome there with any type of questions or whichever. Today there's no structured specific part that I'm gonna go through. But next Wednesday there hopefully will be, if the plan is to also go through scaling and load testing. So in here, when the non-functional requirements were updated slightly updated this year, so I added that at least one microservice must be configured to scale more than one replica, and I want you to test that it did work, which means that you need to simulate load in some way. So that we're gonna I'm gonna try to give you some ideas of how to do that. And so it doesn't have to be included in your continuous integration pipeline, because that's a different challenge to try to run those load testing scripts in CI/CD, but it should be in your at least manual testing at some point, and that's also what I will be using when I do grading. So that would be the structure part on next Wednesday. And here on Tuesday, that would probably be this environmental impact of cloud computing. It will be an interactive workshop with some Lego again on site, or with some other group activity. So that is the last sort of theoretical part that you need for the exam. That is in the course code, so a bit more soft skill that is still related to cloud computing and engineering cloud native applications. And then this one 18th of December, yes, Wednesday, that is our backup for all the questions and everything before the Christmas break. So I'll try not to book anything specific here. Yep. So that was me. And no, Mats, if you have something else to add, you don't. Yeah. One more thing then about the resources. I try to what we try to do on CS Cloud is yeah. Sorry.
I must take a look. When is it we have our what's it called in English? The Christmas gathering or whatever.
The lab, you mean, or
in Costa?
In Costa, that's the 12th and 13th.
12th. Okay. Well, okay, fine.
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it's a good that you remind me. Now I see that this one I might need to move, because I got my son is gonna go to the hospital on this day. But yeah, I just saw that it's the 10th. Oh my god, good. Not good. But then we'll probably do this one on Wednesday. That's what we do. So I'll update also on Slack. Yeah, so we do environment on Wednesday then, and maybe load on the 18th. So I think that would be okay. So today will be then the last unstructured handledning for questions and showing. And I guess I can just add another one maybe on Friday, week 50, so before the deadline. So we'll solve it somehow. But this one has to be moved. And good that you mentioned this. We'll figure something out. It gets really tight now before Christmas. Everything has to fit, and then there are deadlines and Christmas activities. Yeah, we'll figure something out. And the most important part then, that you start with your CS Cloud, that everything works. You got some kind of hello world application submitted. You have the URL. You set up potentially also the different like different environments, production and staging. That's what I was gonna say last, is that you need should have got enough resources to do staging as a complete replica of your infrastructure. So you don't have to use namespaces, but it's also okay to use namespaces within the same cluster if you think that that's enough. So that's really depends on what type of project that you're building. We have very different sort of ambition level. Like, and if they are 3 people working in a group, I said it has to be scaled, that everyone contributes sort of equally as well. If you want more of something and you can motivate why, like more memory, more like CPUs for whatever reason, you can contact me or Mats, and together with Stefan, then we try to see if that is possible. Then before the Christmas break should be okay. So that's it. I have so for the first workshop, materials are here. It's not recorded because recording is very difficult to record an interactive workshop. It became like more than an hour of video, but then it's like other people and they were talking, and I'm like, I'm not gonna cut this. It's to like just be at the workshops. So I think is easier. So for this interactive parts, at least. Then about load and stuff, I maybe try to record if I have time. But otherwise, materials will be here. Slides are here. This one, risk assessment, planning, blah blah blah. That was our design meeting. So I'll put all the materials and a lot of links here today as well. Yep, and those are the 2 that are left in some way. So I'll write on Slack then also today exactly when and what will happen. Yeah, next week is a bit crazy. Yep. Now this is it.
Can I add something about the assignment 1 before we close?
Sure.
Yeah. Some assignments, or some days, gave some new error that I had never seen. Actually, I couldn't resist and wrote in the GitLab comments, like in the end it worked, but this has taken days to evaluate. That's also a reason why this has been a bit delayed. There were some memory allocation problems but they did it came from the cloud. And I had never seen that problem, and several assignments failed. And then I was suspicious that this could be a pattern. I also tried my example code, and it failed again. So yeah, I needed a lot of time for this because I didn't want to give as feedback that there is some problem and I don't understand why. So, but some other days the cloud worked well. So in the end, it was like waiting for the day in which this error was not happening, and then try to grade. Now I have the hypothesis that maybe I was using an availability zone on the cloud that was for research.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody was launching heavy computation, like give me all the resources you can because I have to do some heavy computation. And then when I tried to grade, then I got this memory allocation from the cloud, not even from the code or from the configuration of the machines. But I have not had time to explore if that is the real reason. So well, yeah, it has been challenging. Some of the students have received also the comment that this code was stubborn to give error until I could execute, but it's not your fault, so it's nothing to do, but it took a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, that's also I think, that what you're saying might be because you have used research, because it shouldn't be that busy in the education.
Well, there are other courses that are also, if they are in the examination period this year, they are using the CS Cloud courses with many students as well. So this is another hypothesis that I have. That it was in a rush hour of another course, and then they created the 500 compilations. But it's a timing error that is not consistent. So it happens sometimes, and sometimes it does not. So it's quite difficult to debug this.
Yeah.
Just waited until the error was not happening, and then I try to grade as much as possible.
Yeah, well, that's good that it's resolved now, and let's cross fingers that people are not going to use CS Cloud as much in Mellandagen and all that.
Yeah.
So students
At
can
least once you have the machines or the Kubernetes cluster deployed, then you can use it. But I think all the problems were in the moment of asking for new resources.
Yeah, when you ask for location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good. Well, good luck. I'm gonna dive into trying to fit things that are impossible to fit into next week and update the website. And I'll see you all hopefully after lunch for finalizing your design project designs. So bye bye. Have a good week, everyone.
Bye.